Want to learn the secrets of skiing moguls? In this video, I'll show the first big secret you need to know to enjoy moguls. Hi, I'm Skier Steve, and I want to show you how to enjoy skiing moguls. If you've ever watched somebody skiing moguls well and thought that it looked like fun, and then tried to ski the moguls yourself and found them to be anything but fun, I can help. And if you don't want to spend $375 for 15 minutes of dag-nabbit instruction, my free YouTube videos might be a helpful alternative. I do have 50 years of skiing experience, and I have coached and taught people in many disciplines. So I understand a little bit about how people like to learn. Enough talking. Let's get to it. If steep, rutted, icy moguls strike fear into your heart, you've come to the right place. We can overcome that fear when we know how to handle bumps. In fact, overcoming this fear is actually the first thing we need to do. Because when we get afraid in the moguls, our intuition kicks in. And our intuition causes us to do almost exactly what we shouldn't do. In this video, I'm going to show you some mogul coping and survival techniques. Once you realize you can survive and cope with moguls, your confidence will allow you to relax and learn how to go beyond survival, into thrival, if that's even a word. The secret is in speed control. Imagine being able to ski the bumps in slow motion so that you have time to react to each individual mogul. That would be fun, right? So if we can slow down in the bumps, at least until we become comfortable, then the moguls won't intimidate us. How do we do that? Have you ever been on a really steep and icy slope? Maybe one so steep and icy that you have difficulty standing up on it? How did you navigate it? If you're like most beginners or intermediates, you don't try to ski down it and turn. Instead, you side-slip down the icy part until you reach some skiable snow. This is the same technique we will use to begin to manage our way down the bumps. I call this technique the Mogul Survival technique. Let me start by explaining the anatomy of moguls. This isn't highfalutin official language for moguls. It's just what I'll use. Looking at the mogul straight on, as if you were a drone flying in front of the mogul and facing the slope, we'll refer to the flat part on top of the mogul as the top. Notice that the top of one mogul is actually the bottom side of a higher mogul, or what I would call the trough of the higher mogul. We'll refer to the line that slopes from the top of the mogul to the bottom as the front of the mogul. Finally, the mogul has sides, both on the left and right, which also slope downhill. Start by positioning yourself at the top of a mogul. Side slip down the front of the mogul into the trough at the bottom, and stop. That was pretty easy, right? Now, make a tight turn onto the top of the next mogul and side slip down the front of that one until you're stopped again in the trough. Here's a pro tip. If you end up side slipping a little faster than you want to, you can slow yourself down by bending your knees when you hit the trough. It's a bit like catching yourself with your legs after jumping off a high horse, which of course we have all had to do at some point. This technique can actually bring you to an easy stop in the trough. You can work your way down the mogul field using this technique. But, you say, this isn't skiing moguls. This is just side slipping. Well, hold on. We aren't done learning yet. But this is the simple foundation that virtually any intermediate skier can do. Practice this technique. As you become more comfortable with it, shorten the time you spend in each trough. Well, partner, that's all we have to do for our first lesson. Full disclosure here, I'm not a professional ski instructor, I don't play one on TV, and I have never received professional skiing training. So if you have a professional who's willing to teach you how to ski moguls, I suggest you turn off this video and listen to the professional. However, what I can show you is what I've learned by trial and error. It's also what I find enjoyable. So, to recap, the things to remember from this video are 1. Side slip down the front of the mogul and stop in the trough. 2. Then make a tight turn onto the top of the next mogul. 3. rinse and repeat. As you become more comfortable, try to shorten the amount of time you stop in the trough. When you think you have it down, take a look at the next video where we'll learn the next step in the progression. Do you have Mogul survival tips? Let me know in the comments. Also, click subscribe to see more of my Mogul skiing content.